I'm not joking. Forget everything you ever learned about hand technique because only two things really need to be happening. Number one, make sure you're getting effortless, natural rebound every time you hit a drum, no matter the grip you're using. Number two, make sure you're completely free of any kind of pain or discomfort, especially when you're playing loud or fast. If these two things are happening, it does not matter how you hold your sticks. I don't care what kind of grip you're using. You're fine if you're getting rebound and you have no pain. But if there is any issue with rebound, if there is any pain, I want to help you fix it because we don't want to deal with that. Ain't nobody got time for that. My goal today isn't to say hold your sticks like I do, though that could help you. I want to help you morph your grip into a grip that works. But I am going to show you some slow motion footage of me playing so you can see exactly what's going on, what my fingers are doing, and some multi-cam, multi-angle footage of my hands also. So here we go. You can do this. Welcome to the non-glamorous drummer. I believe that no matter who you are, you can master the drums, you can conquer the instrument when you are armed with the right know-how. I believe this video will help you do just that. It does not matter how you grip your sticks if you're getting good rebound and there's no pain. So my point today isn't to say, here's how I'm gripping, you do the same, everybody needs to do like me. That would be very false and maybe not helpful, because if you go and you look at how a lot of great drummers are gripping their sticks, everybody's doing something a little bit different. But it all centers around that same concept of every great drummer is getting good rebound and they're not in pain. That's why we're narrowing down to those two things. So I'm going to show you the slow motion footage. I'm going to show you the multi-angle footage so you can see exactly what my hands are doing, but you don't have to feel pressured to emulate my grip. I just want to show you what works perfectly for me, what I love doing, what works great for me, and what I hope will work for you too. But first, I want to break down some of these common mistakes, some of these specific mistakes that I see in drummers and in students all the time that you can very quickly remedy. And so you can take the grip that you're doing now, you can take what you're doing now and just adjust it a little bit and you might be fine. You might not need to emulate what I'm doing. If you can just fix some of these little issues, you should be good to go. Number one, I see this in students a lot. It's where the stick doesn't bounce fully when playing with a French grip, thumb on top, because the thumb is pressing down too hard. I've had a lot of students where their default grip is a little bit more French because it feels loose to them, and I always encourage loose grip, and so sometimes that's what they'll gravitate to. And French grip is great when you're playing lightly, or if you're playing over on the right side of your kit, maybe you're hitting the ride. But if you're gonna get a full rebound playing French grip, your fingers have to extend pretty far, and your thumb has to let the stick bounce up. And so any extra thumb pressure on the stick, if you're pressing down a little too hard, it totally kills it and it doesn't work. So beware of that. If you like playing with more of a French grip, or you like doing that when you're pinging on the ride, that's great. Just be able to not press too hard. You've got to stay loose. Let the stick rest in one of those knuckles of your finger so that it's controlled, but let it bounce fully, because if you're pressing too hard, that won't happen. Number two, so this is an issue that happens with German grip. See this with students all the time, where I'll say, okay, I like what you're doing with the loose French grip, but let's turn your hands a little bit more German and let's see how that works for you as we're just experimenting. And a lot of times what happens once they switch to a more German or American, the stick is just too uptight on their hand. It's too pressed against their palm. And so if you're gripping that way, you're having to move your entire hand a lot in order to get the stick to move, rather than moving it like this, extending your fingers. So the quick solution to that is just drop the stick a little lower. Instead of holding it right up here against your palm, just hang it down a little bit lower so that it's got more room to move and it's not up against your palm the whole time. That'll help tremendously so that you've got a nice loose palms down grip. Number three, you're pinching too hard, squeezing too tight here at the fulcrum so the stick can't move loosely. There are a lot of methods out there that say to pinch the stick, and I've heard teachers say this also, and that's sort of a concept, but you don't want to literally pinch the stick or else it's not going to move freely and smoothly. And so something that happens a lot of times with students is that they're pinching too tight here because they feel like if they don't, they lose control. But you've got to be loose. You literally do have to lose control in order to gain it, and so you can't pinch tight at the fulcrum. It just doesn't work. And so this leads to problem number four, which is that because things are too tight right here at the fulcrum, I'll say something like, okay, see if you can loosen up a little bit, just experimenting to see what they can do here. And then suddenly the fingers fly out. And so then you run into that issue where sometimes you feel like, okay, now I'm a little bit looser because now my fingers are out of the way. But if you're still squeezing too tight right here, it's still a problem. So you have to loosen up the fulcrum. You got to loosen the fulcrum, let the stick move smoothly right there so you're not pinching it. That way fingers can be wrapped around and fingers can move with the stick. That's it. That's all you got to do. If you can make those adjustments with whatever grip you're doing, you're going to be in good shape. And of course, the fifth mistake is just where the fingers are keeping the stick from rebounding. It's so important that the fingers are loose and moving with the stick, otherwise you can't get that smooth rebound. The stick wants to rebound, but the fingers end up stopping it if they're not extending loosely. That's very important. By the way, something that is not a mistake, gripping with middle finger instead of index finger. It doesn't matter. You can form your fulcrum with thumb and first finger or thumb and second finger. Whatever you want to do, whatever feels more comfortable to you. Great drummers do it either way. There's not a right or a wrong. I think I tend to do index finger, but at the same time, if I'm playing really loosely, I could easily just kind of switch over to middle finger. I think that's the argument for that. You're a little bit more loose and relaxed if you're playing more from the middle finger instead of the index. So doesn't matter what you use. I don't care. Either way works. The point is you're loose and relaxed and you're getting good rebound. So I really hope that you could relate to one of those mistakes. You could find that, okay, I'm doing one of those things, and by fixing it, you might be good to go. Your grip doesn't need to look like mine. You just need to have good rebound and no pain. But I just want to make things super clear here and show you exactly what I'm doing. So let's jump over to that multicam footage. You can try to emulate my grip if you want to. I hope this helps you out. Check out the slow motion footage so you can really see exactly how my fingers are interacting and how the stick is moving within my hand. Enjoy. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching. I hope this video provided you with a ton of value, and if it did, and if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe before you go and also download the free e-guide, my gift to you, totally free. I believe that no matter who you are, anybody can master the drums and conquer the instrument when they've got the right know-how. And this video and the guide below are going to work together to help you do just that. Know that you can do this. Stay non-glamorous, everyone.